Hi there, televiewers of My Media Prime Television. Many thanks for joining us on this edition of Prime News over My Media Prime TV. I am Eileen for presentation. A fake element of the Rapid Battalion Intervention Unit has been apprehended after postulating himself as an element of the corps. The incident happened in the far north region of Cameroon, precisely in Maroua, where victims were reportedly assaulted in that part of the country. Catherine Ekongwe recounts.
Items comprising of both light and heavy weapon pistols and other gadgets are some of the objects that were found in the possession of this imposter claiming to be a member of the Rapid Intervention Battalion Unit of Maroua, far north region of Cameroon. Following recurrent reports from victimized individuals, the forces of law and order, after launching a search warrant today, has presented the search terror to the public. After interrogation, these other men were arrested alongside the imposter for being accomplices. The arrest comes following an unsuccessful attack against a certain Mr. Muhammadu Abdullahi in a neighborhood in Maroua, who was physically battered and is currently receiving medical attention at the hospital, with his motorcycle taken away. After thorough investigation, the imposter confers to have bought his B outfit from a soldier, whom the police are yet to lay hands on so far.
Now, welcome back. The National Anti-Corruption Commission, CONAC, has organized in Douala an anti-corruption week called the Anti-Corruption Clinic. The campaign, which will run from the 5th to the 9th of December, is in prelude to the 20th edition of the International Anti-Corruption Day. Get details in this report with Staff Lady Joy Ngong.
Prelude to the International Anti-Corruption Day, observed on December 9, the National Anti-Corruption Commission, CONAC, has taken up the initiative to step up the fight against corruption in the littoral region of Cameroon. From the 5th to the 8th of December, victims of corruption are called upon to report the perpetrators directly at the Governor's office in Bonanjo for immediate action. During the press conference to launch the initiative, CONAC chairperson, Reverend Dieudonné Massigams, made it clear that their identities will be kept secret.
The protection of those who are denouncers. We have also our strategy, and what we used to say is that don't expose yourself. If you have something to tell, to say, if you have a denunciation to do, come and meet CONAC. You will be protected.
According to the CONAC chairperson, this move is a new method to identify corruptors, as they too have found new ways to extort money from citizens.
We work in collaboration with the court, and we do also investigation, and the result that we find, we give it to the court. But if we find on the field that what we called in French flagrant délit, then we go straight to the court and we give the information and evidences of that we have found, so as to give sanction according to what we have programmed.
Right from the day of the launching, cases of corruption were already being reported.
Yeah, because I have something to promise to my account bank, someone to track my money in the before 1 million in my account. But now I come in to see CONAC because it's begun the small investigation to fraud my money, to loss in the bank.
Following the anti-corruption clinic, CONAC teams will go down to the field to take stock of the various denunciations recorded.
A total of 9 divisional delegates, 1 hospital director, a financial controller and 5 other managers from domains in charge of ocean and land affairs have been instituted and installed into office in Kribi. While officiating the ceremony, the divisional officer for the Ocean Division, Nuhu Bello, urged the officials to take their responsibilities at heart for better outcomes. Staff Lady Darling Gonde completes that story.
A total of 16 state officials comprising 9 divisional delegates, 1 hospital director, a financial controller, alongside 5 other managers in charge of land and ocean affairs have been instituted into office by Nuhu Bello, divisional officer for the ocean.
Because as you know, the new delegates and head of services were appointed by the different ministers, and since the taking of the office we have not installed them. Now we installed them today, and we have asked them to be present in their office and to serve with general interest. They should fight against robbery.
In addition to their tasks and functions, the divisional officer has categorically kicked against deviance like absenteeism and irregularities while granting audience to the press.
We don't want these public workers who come in preview. On Tuesday, we go back at Thursday. At different levels, they should accompany the development of big projects in the Ocean Division. As you know, Ocean Division has a lot of projects. The head of state, President of the Republic, is putting in place a lot of projects. And we, public servants, we should be those who are working for this project.
But how ready and apt are these officials in serving in their various functions?
To give a certain bench to peaceful policy. First, second, make sure that EB becomes the best way to school.
At a time when the city of Kribi in particular is taking a facelift in all sectors, these newly installed government officials have been tasked to work in synergy with the ever-growing numerous population, which is in dire need of quality and just services.
Let's now leave Kribi to Yaoundé, the nation's capital city, where Honorable Joshua Osi and Kabra Alibi have mounted a rust room once more to decry the speed at which things are done at the National Assembly without due diligence. To Honorable Kabra Alibi, they were not given enough time to examine the budget, while Honorable Joshua Osi says MPs have to push for Cameroonians to at least have ID cards, the basic right of a citizen. Bo Elvis with details from Yaoundé.
The finance bill has been adopted, yet MPs at the National Assembly are not happy with the procedure leading to adoption. The late reception of the bill has been decried.
Même que nous, on n'avait pas encore reçu les annexes des 100 pages de la loi de finances, sauf à transformer.
No MP could make amendments before the 20th because we received it on Saturday. I received a call on Saturday at 1 p.m. I took it by 2 p.m. at a time when the Finance Commission was already examining the articles from 10 a.m. And my corrections were rejected because they said the Commission was already deliberating. This is an example of the mediocre work being done in Parliament.
Examiner déjà les articles alors les amendements sont irrecevables. Tout cela transpire la préméditation de la médiocrité du travail parlementaire.
Honorable Joshua Osi is worried about who Cameroon MPs are defending when so many citizens have to go through the eye of a needle experience to have their ID cards.
Si banal que celui-là.
If something as simple as an ID card is more than us, we are able to have a budget of 57,000 pages. We are able to produce biometric passports. We can do many things, yet a simple identification document is more than us. I find it disgusting. Opposition MPs have expressed the wish that officials look into problems raised and solve them so as to ensure that the National Assembly becomes a place that protects and defends the interests of the people.
Now from the National Assembly, let's now talk education. The University of Bamenda has graduated over 5,000 students from all 12 schools and faculties that make up the institution. This was during the 12th convocation ceremony, which took place on Saturday, December 3, 2022 at the University of Bamenda campus. Naivona was a part of that educative jamboree and brought back this report.
There are over 5,000 in number who made up with the graduation requirements of the University of Bamenda for the 2021-2022 academic year. These students from both undergraduate and postgraduate levels hail from all 12 schools and faculties that make up the University of Bamenda. The academic event took place Saturday, December 3, 2022 at the Esplanade of the University's Central Administration. While presiding over the event, the representative of the Minister of State, who doubles as the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Bamenda, Professor Teresa Kwo Akenji, called on graduating students to be the best they can and defend the name of the institution in the job market.
We are sending out students who have been found worthy both in learning and in character. So we have sent out flag bearers of the University of Bamenda. We have trained our students to be courageous enough to go out there and be the best.
The colorful event was graced by the presence of government officials, university administrators, as well as thousands of graduates. The convocation ceremony, which marks the close of respective academic programs for these outgoing students, saw graduates in the Faculty of Health Sciences challenged to be lifesavers and not vice.
I pledge myself before God and in the presence of this assembly to practice my profession faithfully. I will abstain from whatever is nefarious and will not take only and deciding harmful drugs. In the full knowledge of the obligation I am undertaking, I promise to care for the sick.
The event ended with a award of prizes to outstanding and deserving students across all 12 schools and faculties of the institution. It should be noted the 12th convocation ceremony of the University of Bamenda comes 2 days after the start of a similar convocation ceremony at the University of Boya in the Southwest region.
In a related story, graduates of the University of Boya have been urged to go out and represent the values of the University of Boya as they face the job market. The call was made at the weekend during the school's graduation ceremony. Staff Lady Emanuela C. was there and now tells us more.
The University of Boya sent out 8,752 students into the job market. The graduation ritual resumed 2 years after being interrupted by COVID since 2019, an occasion where students used to have the feeling of greatness and completion. This year, even though special, the students say the feeling is no more.
It has been a very, very good experience, given the fact that coronavirus came along and was disturbing all these things. We forgot how the feeling that people get graduation. So I'm so glad that today I'm standing right here to be one of the first people to graduate since the coronavirus time.
While others say at least 3 years is over and the stress has paid off.
It's something exciting. I'm just feeling happy. At least the 3 years is over. After this hard work, it's finally over. Move to something new from the physics department.
Representing the Minister of Higher Education, Professor Akwo Edward Oben, urged the students to go out and represent the values of the University of Boya.
First of all, let me begin by thanking the Minister of Higher Education for kindly asking me to represent him at the ceremony. Now, in terms of the message for the graduates or the graduating students, it is this simple. For 3 years or 5 years or 7, 8 years, depending on the degree that they have obtained, they have been given certain values, the values of the University of Boya, which are honesty, integrity, cooperation, and what have you. And so we expect that these values will help them as they go through life. I think one of the key phrases for this graduation has been, be the difference that makes all the difference.
It was a long weekend for the university and the first of its kind, sending out 3 badges in the same year.
Now let's move to the northwest region, where some elites of Ngo village in Jikwa subdivision, Momo division of that part of the country, were over the weekend recognized for distinguishing themselves as supporters of development back in the village. The recognition exercise coincided with the installation of the newly elected National Executive Bureau of the Ngo Cultural Development Association, Nkuda. This is in this report with Kuma Onure.
Sons and daughters of Ngo village in Jikwa subdivision, Momo division of the northwest region of Cameroon, came out in their numbers over the weekend for the annual General Assembly of Ngo Cultural Development Association, first of its kind 5 years ago since the onset of the Anglophone crisis. Welcoming the mammoth crowd, the coordinator of Nkuda for the southwest region, Annie Christopher, thanked the sons and daughters of Ngo village for their massive participation as well as their moral, material and financial support to give the assembly the grandeur it deserved.
The concept behind the mobilization is first and foremost God. Secondly, good collaboration among the organizers who happen to be the ESCO members of Nkuda, the regional Southwest Bureau, and war edicts all over, and the welfare of Ngo people who think that it is high time Ngo people moved a step ahead. Everybody came in with a lot of zeal, with a lot of enthusiasm. That's why we can say that we are a bit, we were somehow succeeding in what we plan to do.
Addressing the population, the national president of Nkuda, Justice Kengo Frederick Anjene, made a clarion call to the sons and daughters of Ngo origin to bury the differences which may have resulted from the elections of the new executive bureau and focus on the future. Going by the national president of Nkuda, the first project of the new vision team shall be directed to the purchase of a caterpillar to ensure constant maintenance of inter-village roads. To this effect, a fundraising for the Caterpillar project shall be launched in April 2023 alongside a journal for priority projects and means of generating the income. Justice Kengo Frederick added that Nkuda shall equally ensure continuous collaboration with the Fund of Ngo Village to ensure more traditional titles are conferred to illustrious sons and daughters of Ngo Village as recognition for meritorious services rendered to the village. Justice Kengo Frederick Angene equally used this occasion to thank the Fund of Ngo Village, His Royal Majesty, Dr. Colonel Hans Anago III, who was personally present during the General Assembly, for his constant support to Nkuda and wish him happy birthday as he clocks 87 in just some few days.
The take-home message to the Ngo people is that we need to work as a team if we have to succeed. We must work as a team. We must work in unity. It is often said that it's better to do less perfect things in unity than to do perfect things when people are not united or in disunity. So the message for them is that we should remain more united. And when we are more united, we are going to move mountains.
It is worth mentioning that the annual General Assembly had 3 main points on the agenda: the installation of the newly appointed members of the Advisory Council and the recognition of Ngo sons and daughters who have distinguished themselves in terms of supporting development back in the village.
Let's stay in the northwest region to talk about religious news. 13 elders of the Apostolic Church of Cameroon, Field 3, have been ordained into the eldership ministry at the Apostolic Church Cathedral, Tamalung, to crown a 4-day crusade on the theme Breaking the Forces of Limitations. Details with Charles Kebwa from Bamenda.
The 13 elders of the Apostolic Church Cameroon Field 3 ordained December 2nd, 2022 into eldership ministry at the Cathedral of the Apostolic Church in Tamalung, Bamenda, to crown a 4-day crusade on the theme Breaking the Forces of Limitation, with supporting texts Malachi 2 verses 12 to 13.
It was a power-packed convention. People were encouraged because there was the flow of the power of God.
Entire body of Christ, the Apostolic Church Cameroon, we see that from this day we are going from glory to glory, from strength to strength. You can see even a testimony that came out from the program. It's a proof that our God is at work.
Ministering to end the convention and delegated by the national president of the Apostolic Church Cameroon, Field 3 Superintendent Apostle Anthony Obi labeled the service anointing service with theme, when you encounter the limit breaker. The ordained elders, believers called and have been serving as elders for 5 years and above, after 5 years need to be commissioned in office. The newly ordained who pledged to stand by the tenets of the Apostolic Church Cameroon.
I'm going to do my possible best. I've desired the work, by this special grace, God give me grace to go more ahead, to do more souls to the kingdom of God. That's my.
Christians of the Apostolic Church Cameroon Field 3 at the convention prayed for the nation, called on God to intervene in the affairs of Cameroon and rain his peace into every corner and hearts. The convention ended with anointing of all faithfuls who answered present for the 2022 Field 3 convention.
On to sports. The author of the sports slogan, "We Go Take That Cup," a slogan which accompanied the indomitable Lions of Cameroon as well as their fans during the ongoing FIFA World Cup, says he got his inspiration from the game